Right, guys. Okay. Well, another little kind of mini live stream that I thought I would do for you. So, yeah, this one was just very kind of, it was really just quite spontaneous to do this one. First off, it's just been, it's just actually been insane what's happened over the last day with the channel. I mean, there's some really it's just the channel's just almost like exploded in the space of 24 hours. So yeah, I don't even know what to kind of say about that. So um, basically, someone shared my channel. Someone shared one of my videos on Reddit, and apparently, I still don't even particularly understand how Reddit works exactly. But my friends were telling me that the video that was posted, which was it was the Nectar double IPA from OO Brewing in Gothenburg that that was posted, and suddenly this video had 30,000 views, and it was like something stupid, like I can't remember how many likes it had, like 1,000 likes, but just suddenly it just went boom, and honestly, in 24 hours, the channel has literally doubled in size, which is just insanity. It's just actually insane what's happened with the channel over this day. So I don't know who exactly it was that decided to share the video. He said, I saw that he posted on the thread, the Reddit thread, that he was just searching for a beer review. He found my video, and then he just said he subscribed immediately. So yeah, cool. To whoever it was that shared my channel, thank you. It's just craziness. I mean, I've never ever been in YouTube for the subs. I just liked beer. I just liked beer, and I wanted to. I was in Aberdeen studying chemistry in the early days, and Brewdog were releasing beer after beer after beer, and I was just like, how do you actually remember what these things taste like? So I thought, well, I would do a beer video sort of channel and go through YouTube. And at the time, I thought I had a really unique idea, but then when I got into it, it turned out there was a whole community of people there, and I've made some really really good friends, both in the beer tubing side of things, from the other YouTubers that are doing beer videos, and I've made friends with some of the subscribers. So yeah, I've met quite a few of the subscribers in places like Australia, Munich, and I've had people have sent me beer, breweries have sent me beer, and things like that. So this is. The channel's always been very, very small, and like I say, I was never in it for the numbers. But this whole Reddit thing is just mental. It happened on my day off. I don't normally work Mondays or Tuesdays. I usually work. Usually I usually work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in one job, and then I work over the weekends on another job. So get one day off a week, and then suddenly the channel just exploded on my day off, and I had my Japanese exam. I passed my Japanese exam on Monday as well, which was quite cool. But then all of a sudden the channel exploded, and I just spent the day like just watching this. I was like, Christ, how is this going to go? It's just that. It was just absolute insanity, to be honest with you. So to whoever it was that shared the channel, thank you. I guess that's awesome. It's really cool. As I say, was never in it for the clicks and the likes and stuff like this. Yeah, I was never in it for that. But yeah, it's just craziness. It's actually just craziness how fast it's growing. I don't, as I say, I don't understand how Reddit works particularly, but so apparently my friends were telling me that somehow this video just got to the top of one of the kind of very niche sections of it, and apparently it was on the front page. Like one of my friends sent me a screenshot, and I think it was at like number 51, 52, something like that. So for my YouTube channel to be on the front page of Reddit was just insane. And I know Reddit Reddit's one of these things that I've known about, and I think it's quite cool because it's full of like really, really random stuff. But it's one of these things, I think if I actually got involved in this, I would lose so much time in Reddit. You'd find some very, very cool stuff. Like in that the deep, what was it called? The dark depths of YouTube or something like that. And some of the other videos that were listed under mine were really interesting. Like, what would a real live Bart Simpson look like, and stuff like this. You could just get lost in Reddit. It's pretty much like YouTube. You could actually just get lost in there and do that. But yeah, it's just absolutely craziness what's happened with this whole Reddit thing. So for all of you who have joined the channel to watch the channel with the Reddit thing, welcome, and I hope that you guys enjoy what we do what we do on the channel. So I hope you guys continue to enjoy the new episodes. And to all the old guard who've been watching the channel, it's double school to you guys, because you guys have been there from the early origins and everything like that. The channel's got a really great following, and there's some really hardcore followers of the channel and things. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of comes from it now. I'm noticing that we're starting to get some comments. I can't think, this isn't StreamYard, so I can't show them on the stream. But yeah, Albert Pufal says hi. Awesome. So hello. Shen says, whereabout in Scotland are you from? I was born in Stirling. I live just outside of Stirling in Clackmannanshire. Or my parents do. I don't live there anymore. It was the second time, right? Anonymous. This is the second time. Yeah, a friend of mine, Liam, he tried to share one of my videos on Reddit before, but he said that he put it in the wrong subreddit, because he's got very good post karma. I think he was actually one of the top people in Scotland with post karma. I don't actually even know where the guy now is from who shared it. His name looked as if it was Spanish, so I don't know if he was like South American or if he was from Spain. I don't know, but the name of the guy that shared it looked as if it was like Spanish or maybe Portuguese or something like that. But yeah, if that's what you mean, I think second time on Reddit. Lordum498, who's 72, says hello. That's a strange set of coordinates. I like that. Joe Gansel, yeah, Joe's been with me for quite a long time. He says thank you for the content. Awesome. David Hughes over in, I think he's in Dublin. He's Irish anyway, but David's been with the channel for a long time, and he said, "Oh, it's great, thanks. I said your channel deserves more subs." So yeah, cool. It's that's awesome. So then Miss Malmify is saying konbanwa in hiragana. So konbanwa, genki desu ka? So yeah, your reviews have helped during this craziness. Yeah. So Joe, I'm curious, how many of the beers that I review can you actually get? I know you love the reviews, but I'd be curious, how many of the Swedish and Danish beers do you actually get? Daniel Nielsen, a Swede sees the word Systembolaget in the title. Oh, look, my favorite store. Exactly. Yeah, that's the one place you go in Sweden during this whole COVID thing, and it's kind of just like normal. It's the one place, if you need normality in Sweden, just go to Systembolaget. So yeah, Max J. Blankenship, I came from Reddit too. I love the nuanced content, man, and of course I love beer too. It's fair enough, man. Awesome. Thank you for the compliment. And yeah, I hope you enjoy future episodes. Yeah. Do you actually make any money from YouTube from your 2,200 videos? Never monetized the videos. I never have. And to be honest, I've never had any intention of doing that, to be honest. If people send me beer and I get to try different beer from random places in the world, which has happened. A brewery sent me beers from Slovenia last month, Green Gold Brewing from Celje in Slovenia. They sent me a crate of beer to try. You'll see me, we're going to do a Q&A section on the channel on Thursday. So like an AMA, an Ask Me Anything Q&A section, whatever. So we will talk a bit more about that. But yeah, I haven't really cared about the whole monetization thing, mainly just because if I get some free beer out of it and I get people send me beer from different places across the world, I'm fine with that. I mean, I've got people like Davor in Slovenia who has supplied me with Slovenian beers. I send him a bit of money, he mails me a box. I've got Riku now in Finland who I send a bit of money, he sends me a box of Finnish beers if I want. Basically what I'd like to do is build a network of beer mules, essentially, so that I can try random stuff from all over the world. That's what I wanted out of this. That's the only I don't care about making money. If I get to try beer from different parts of the world, then that's it for me. That's what I would like out of this channel. We've got, that was Cal. Then we have, how many beers do you have in your house at the moment? Oof. Well, I've got another 10 that I got today because it was a special release at Systembolaget. I've got, what's in that box? That must be about 10 finished beers. And then I've got maybe about 20 in the fridge. So I'm actually in quite a high supply just now. I feel like I've got too much beer at the moment, and I need to work through it actually. But quite a few of the finished ones, there's maybe about 5 that I need to drink quite soon because they're sour beers. And then the other ones are things like, barley wines and stouts and stuff. So they can last for a while, and, I can space out the finished reviews. It's the thing is, if people send you IPAs, which the Slovenian brewery did, they sent me all of the beers they sent me apart from like 4, I think it was, or 2 different types. So I think that I got about 7 reviews out of that 24 pack that they sent me, because it's 7 different kinds of beer. The thing is, if you get sent IPAs, you have to review them pretty much straight away. So it kind of goes in peaks and troughs. Sometimes you get a load of IPAs to review, and after a while you're like, oh, I'm sick of IPA, I want to do some stouts. And then I have the same where sometimes I'll go for ages without reviewing a stout, and I just miss it. I'm getting a lot of barley wines and stuff at the moment, actually, which is good. I hadn't had barley wines in quite a long time. About 50 beers at the moment. And most important, why no French beer? There is French beer on the channel. If you look, there is a French playlist there. But when it comes to French beer is a nightmare to get outside of France. One of the best beer shops I've ever seen was La Cave Boulet in Paris. And that's actually recently shut down. But the only reason I don't have more French beer on the channel, is because it's a nightmare to get. French beer is a pain in the ass to get a hold of. And I think it's just because, German and Belgian beers, and Czech to some extent, is more, I think. But like I said, I'll review beer from anywhere. The real problem is just getting a hold of stuff. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I need a network of beer mules to send stuff to me. But yeah, S-Hen is saying Stirling is pretty dreary. My sympathies. In terms of craft beer, there's not a lot in Stirling and things. But like I say, I don't really drink outside of the videos. But I like Stirling. Very historic town. It's kind of cool to be from the place where, Robert the Bruce did his thing. I quite like that. But Joe's saying I don't get a lot of these beers, unfortunately. Hey man, Gabe Dave is saying, oh, much love from Chile. I actually have a Chilean beer in my fridge that you'll see me review. I need to write the notes for that. I need to do the research for the brewery notes and do that one for you. But you will see a Chilean beer review at some point rather soon. You will see that come up within the next month. So keep an eye out for that. There will be Chilean beers coming up at some point. That's a country I've always wanted to visit, actually, is Chile. I've seen the pictures of Santiago with the mountains and stuff in the background. And when I was looking at doing my PhD, there was a lot of opportunity to go to Antofagasta and play on the telescopes there with the European Space Agency. Something that might happen in the future. We'll see. But I watched for the fact I can watch your opinion. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah, I need to. Joe, I think he's either in Washington or Oregon. I forget which one. But yeah, Joe's been watching the channel for a good time. Kush Segal is saying you have great content. Thank you. It's awesome. Have you ever had a Swiss beer? I did have one. Some kind of Anchor brewery. Was it the Lock-in Anchor or something? I did have one. Swiss beer before, and that's the only Swiss craft beer I've ever seen. So I would, again, Switzerland, one of these countries you just don't find stuff from Switzerland. It's a pain in the arse to get a hold of Swiss beer, but I would, I want to go there. Do you sometimes feel not drinking beer? Do you sometimes only do this to make content? No, I like tasting beer, but yeah, sometimes what I do sometimes is I'll maybe film like 5 reviews over the weekend, or do all 7 at the weekend, and then not drink until like the Friday or something like that. It just depends. Like, most of the time I film the reviews on the weekend, and then I'll maybe have 1 or 2 during the week. If I've got an excess of beer like I do just now, I will film more during the week and then publish twice, because it's just kind of what you do. But Joe's like, oh no, but I would to try some. Okay, yeah, Yeah. Greetings, Bas van Bork. Greetings from Amsterdam. Yeah, I need to get back to the Netherlands. Make sure, if you don't already, Bas, make sure you check out the guys at the Dutch Beer Collective. Thomas Opent, Dutch Beer Geek Holland. So, yeah, Jester Speed. How can I send beers from Halifax, Nova Scotia? Drop me a message either through the Instagram or the Facebook, and we can sort that out. We can to try some more Canadian beers would definitely be awesome, because Canadian beers are difficult to get as well. Give Dave, that's nice. Can't wait. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can. That was the Chilean beer. Yeah. So yeah, the Chilean one, it's a Scotch ale actually, which was really random. I got that in my Finnish beer box. So have you had anything from Fort George? I don't know if that's, no, basically no. I don't know if that's a brewery or if that is a place, probably both. But do you have some sort of PO box I can send you stuff? Yeah, drop me a message through the Facebook or the Instagram and we can sort that out. We can definitely do that. As you don't drink too much outside of the Viz, you don't go for cask then. I've not really ever been a great fan of cask beer. I was always more of a keg man, because I kind of got, I got into beer in Germany. I studied, I did my master's thesis in organic chemistry at Heidelberg in Germany, and that was where I really, I'd started to get into the Rauch beer. Great fan of cask. I like the beer to have a bit of coldness, and I like the beer to have a little bit of coldness and a little bit of carbonation. Yeah. So Vanessa says hi. Oh, Vanessa's always on Rod's feeds. Actually, it's nice to see you, Vanessa. Antofagasta, sick, nice place to live. Yeah, I'd love to go and see. As I say, Chile. I'd love to go from the very north all the way south in Chile. That'd be cool to do like a travel vlog thing as well. Can't wait for the Chile travel log. Yeah, I would. Do out and about filming there. I don't know how many of them you've seen. But yeah, there's quite. It'd be cool to do a wee travel log there. Hey, just went by Systembolaget today as well. Very hyped for the Lervig, the Verdant Lervig collab. Just wait a little minute till I actually show you the beers that I've got. So yeah, window beer review with Thomas says hi. It's awesome. How long does a review actually take you, including the research for the beer, finding one, getting one sent, etc.? It depends whether it's a new brewery or not, because if it's a brand new brewery, maybe you spend it depends. Some breweries are a pain in the ass, and it depends what country it's from. Because if I've got a beer that I've had in the fridge from Italy for a while just now, and I've been wanting to review that for a while, Birrificio Lambrate, but trying to find information on that brewery is such a pain. It really just depends. Sometimes you can rattle out notes in half an hour if you know where to look. Other times it takes a little bit a longer time, so about an hour-ish for the research the first time you do the review. Then you just look at a few things to update the notes and stuff. Beyond that, it's very quick. Otherwise, maybe takes a couple of tries to film, because I always, in certain languages, I'm very hard on myself with the pronunciation. So yeah, Vanessa saying sitting in Connecticut. I'm going to Connecticut in September, so for my friend's wedding. So we'll be up there. Maybe we can grab a beer. Actually, Vanessa, we need to talk about that at some point. Toscanoli is saying, hey, hello. You're like a hidden treasure. Keep it up and you'll reach 1 million subs. I don't know if BeerTube will ever get to that. I don't think that many people really care about YouTube, about BeerTube, sorry. So I don't think I'll ever reach 1 million subs. I think that's quite... that's a little bit unrealistic, that one, I think. Martino, but yeah, no, thank you for the compliment, Martino. Yeah, that's awesome. Eda's saying, sup, Lord, how's it going, man? Joseph Klein, I see there are some great cask beers these days. Yeah, no, I mean, as I say, I'm open-minded with it, but I do like the beer to have a little bit of carbon. I do like beer to be a little bit crisp, unless it's, like a stout and stuff, obviously. But yeah, are you a brewer yourself? No. I have done a bit of home brewing. I know how to brew beer. I've got a master degree in chemistry, so I know quite a lot of the science and stuff behind it. But yeah, no, it's awesome. Nate is saying, watched a few of your reviews, saw your video on Reddit. So many people saw that, man. The Reddit thing is just insane. Did you get your hands on the rhubarb lambic? Who was that? Which brewery was that again? I'm trying to remember. I did hear about them. Jan Chudi is saying, hey, love the channel. Have a good one, mate. Thanks, Jan. Looking forward to your future vids. Yeah, honestly, enjoy them, man. It's awesome. What was your first beer ever? Oh, I remember being in the Cross Keys pub in Alva with my dad, and he had some Millennium Ale. I've no idea which brewery that was from, but I remember trying it, and it was foul. That was the very first time I tasted beer. I think it was an English bitter, and I've never liked the English bitter as a style, to be honest with you. The best English bitters I've ever had have actually been the Swedish ones, the one from Nynäshamns own brewery, and the one from Örebro as well, actually, which is craziness. But that was the first beer I ever tried. The first beer I liked was Schlenkerla, the smoke beers, which is a very, very unusual way to get into beer, actually. So yeah, I'm trying to find the highest ABV beers to try them. No luck thus far. It might be the wrong time of the year. Highest ABV beer, I think, is from Schwarzbräu in Germany, and I've got 2 of those in the fridge, but it's the strongest Weizen and the strongest Helles in the world, if I remember correctly. So you will see those reviewed. I've been meaning to review those for a little while, but they have one, I think, that's about, they do have one that's about 40% and I think that's still the record, because the things from Brewfest, no, it wasn't Brewfest, what were they called? Brewmeister in Scotland, those were found to not be. It was the snake venom and the Armageddon from them that were the big ones, but they were found to not be the ABV they said they were. So yeah, if you look for Schwarzbräu, those are the ones that you want from Germany. Have you had beer from India or Southeast Asia? No, actually, but I know that the Indian beer scene is picking up. India is a country that I'd love to go. I love Indian food, although probably the stuff we eat is not authentic, of course. But I would love to go to India and try some of the brew pubs and things and do some out and about filming. It'd be cool to get a hold of some Indian beer and review it. Like I say, I want to try stuff from everywhere. Southeast Asia, I do have one beer from Thailand that Davor from Slovenia gave me. Was it Chang Moon? No, Full Moon Brewery or something like that. So there is one Thai beer on the channel. So yeah, I've not done that, but yeah, Southeast Asian beers. Like I want to go to Singapore and I want to go to the Philippines and visit these countries. That's definitely something for the future. Are you surprised about the recent influence, or is this long overdue recognition for the quality content you've put into this? I've never, to be quite honest with you, Fruits, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. I mean, I do it just because I like beer. And it's just, I wanted to document the things. I quite like being part of the beer tuber community, and I just like it. I mean, the numbers have never bothered me. They've never really bothered me. And as I say, I would be happy with it if it became, I would have always said that it would have been, what do you call it? How do you say? I would have always been happy with it. It became self-sustaining. I got free beer essentially. That would be the goal for it. If it come to making money out of the channel, I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. That's not such a big thing. Oh well, welcome. If I live near the Bradley International, Vanessa's saying. So yeah, no, I think I'll probably fly to Boston or New York because I can go straight there from Copenhagen through Reykjavik. So it'll probably be New York or Boston I go to. But my friend's wedding is in Washington, so it'll be Washington that I'm there. So it's not too far from Hartford. It's northwest of the state, if I remember right, or west. So yeah, we should definitely meet up, and you can show me a few of the Connecticut breweries. It'd be cool to do some on-location filming with you if you're game for that. Do you ever think about making a video about Guinness? I've just never got around to Guinness. I've just never ever got around to it, actually, because I've always said that Guinness doesn't taste the same in Ireland. So I'd do it if I was in Ireland, actually. A chemistry master's is awesome. Congrats! I completed a master's in math in September 2017 at age 56. That's impressive. Maths, I always struggled with pure maths. I'm starting to study maths a little bit again, just out of interest. I do quite a few little courses out of interest, like economics and a bit of history and Japanese, of course, because my son is half Japanese and so on. So yeah, I do random stuff, and I'm just kind of gradually working towards a history, economics, politics MA. That's a long-term project. And I do the Japanese, obviously, for the reasons. And Swedish, of course, I'm still working on as well, actually. At last, Tillfällig Sortiment, there was a rhubarb lambic from God Beer Cell on a bag-in-box, no less. Oh, yeah, no, I did see that one, but I didn't get that one, actually. Tried a smoked porter last year. I sadly can't remember the brand. Was a horrible experience. Currently enjoying a Greenbergen blonde while watching this. I've not had a Greenbergen in ages, actually. How many beers are in this fridge of yours? About 50. Well, Yeah, about 50 at the moment. It was about 50 beers at the moment. Do you ever review beer you don't really like? I have had beers that I haven't liked before. Not that many of them, right enough, because I tend to find that the quality of the craft beers tend to be pretty damn good. I have had some not so good ones. But yeah. What is the story behind your channel names Goddard Radio Moscow and Rampant Lion Reviews? Well, Goddard Radio Moscow, when I was, what was that? Was that 2007? So when I was in my 5th year of high school, I was 16. I got to go to NASA camp in the US at the Marshall Space Center in Huntsville in Alabama. I got a scholarship to go there. And then the team that I was put in was Goddard. And then one of the American guys and they taught us all about the history of the space program and things like that. And so we learned about the Russian space program, the American space program, the space race. And it was always the thing, they made the joke, because the Russians couldn't build a rocket that was an engine that was as powerful as the Saturn V. So the Russians were building these huge rockets with 17 engines, and they just fell over and went bang. So my friend and I we got into the tannoy room one day and did this Radio Moscow thing with the fake Russian accents and stuff. So that was where Goddard Radio Moscow came from. I was in Team Goddard. We got into the tannoy room and did this, welcome to Radio Moscow, where rockets go boom. We did something like that. And that's where the Goddard Radio Moscow thing came from. But then Rampant Lion Reviews came from the fact I got... when I was doing these reviews in the early days, I got so many comments from Americans being like, oh, it's so cool to find a Scottish beer reviewer and so on. And then I thought, well, people seem to like it. The Rampant Lion it's the symbol of the Bruce, the greatest king of Scotland. So I kind of thought, well, I like that. Rampant Lion Reviews has a little bit of a ring to it. So there you are. Edda's saying, I'll go to the Philippines with you. Yeah, we can talk about that, man. We should. So Sislak visited Sweden last year. The price of beers was so high, paid close to €10 for one in a beer cafe. Yep, you will pay that for beer, and that's the price for shitty beer. But if you know where you're going, you can get good beer for about €8 or so. Malmö Brewing Company, they've got a lovely little selection. A rhubarb, so Vanessa's like, a rhubarb lambic sounds interesting. Oh, that was, yeah, the Duranka one that was mentioned a bit ago. Picked a stock and saying, yeah, so yeah, rhubarb lambic would be quite interesting. Yeah, come visit Nicht Kostka. Come visit us in Ireland. Guinness tastes very different in every pub. Take care, mate. Yeah, no, as I say, I want to do a Guinness review, but I want like be cool to get like a proper bottle of it and actually film it in Dublin in front of the post office or something. That'd be cool, a kind of cool on location review to do. So I picked let me see, where were we? Take care, mate. I must head out to the llama farm. A baby was born 2 days ago. Thanks for live. So no, Vanessa, it was cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do you brew any of your own beer? I took my landlord. My landlord brews, so I've brewed with him a few times. So as I say, I know how to brew my own beer. And on a few of the live streams, I've had a few of the beers that he does. His lagers were very good the first couple of years, and now his ales have really caught up actually. So yeah. Beer here in the north can be quite expensive, sadly. Exactly, yeah. It's just how it goes, high alcohol taxes, because they had big problems with alcoholism here. In years gone by. That was the thing. Oh, I was stationed at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville. Oh yeah, was it the Air Force you were in, Vanessa? Yeah, I remember you were saying about that before. How do you also get into sake? Well, my girlfriend is Japanese. I went to Australia one time, and on the way met a Japanese girl in Osaka, and that was that. She really likes sake, and I noticed, I really got into it. She really got me into sake, and I wish I could do those more often. That is one of the motivations. Obviously, my son's half Japanese. Michiko's family are Japanese and don't speak English so well. That's the other thing. But yeah, there wasn't really anyone doing sake videos on YouTube as well. So that's just a very small sidearm. But if I ever did live in Japan, probably this number of sake reviews would creep up. It would, I'd maybe end up doing like a quarter sake reviews, 3/4 beer, something like that, because the selection of beers you get in craft beers in Japan is not quite the same as you'd get in Europe. And if I did go over there, obviously I'd be relying on my beer mules to supply me with lots of different things. But yeah, no, sake was just, as I say, because my girlfriend quite likes sake. Yes, where were we then? Have you ever seen the Saturn V? Yeah, no, I've been to both the Kennedy and the Johnson Space Center. I've seen the Saturn V. There's a model Saturn V at the Marshall Space Center. This thing's massive. It's crazy, crazy piece of engineering. I've seen that. I've actually seen. I saw. Was it? When would that? I don't know what year that was, but I saw Atlantis take off. I saw Atlantis take off 1 year when I was on holiday in the States. It was quite cool. I made my mum and dad get up at 4 a.m. to watch this thing take off, and it was just a wee in the sky. It was quite funny. We were actually in Orlando for that. So yeah. KBS or CBS, Sasha or Digweed. That's hard because I do like a coffee stout and I do like a sweet stout. You know, I don't know how to answer that one. I probably, to be honest, I probably would say CBS actually. Sasha or Digweed, I'm not sure what that one is. Train Spotting or Train Spotting 2. Probably the original actually. Do you ever go to Dub Club? Not sure what that is. By the way, if you want to go them, hit me up, and you won't be disappointed. I promise you that. Yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, I need to go back to Ireland. My cousin actually has a very nice Irish girlfriend, and I think she's from Dublin, if I remember right. I've not met her yet because they're in Australia. So yeah, probably will see about going to Dublin at some point. Hi, I came here from Reddit. What are your thoughts on the whole Reddit thing bringing in lots of viewers? I don't even know, man. It's just insanity. The quickness at which this thing has just kind of happened is just insane. It really is crazy. Loving your vids, by the way. No, thank you. Sorry, that Sub Club glass. David, man, I have no idea what that is. I really have no idea what that is. Ever do ciders? I'm not a huge fan myself, but Ocean Brigade has a fine one called Ocean Golden Apple. I very, very highly suggest having a taste of that. I've never seen it. I've actually never seen it in Systembolaget. I do like ciders. More a fan of the sweet ciders rather than the English or Irish type ciders. We always used to get lots of Copperbear, or as it's called in Scotland, Koppaberg. We used to get Koppaberg and Recorderlig, man. We always used to get those in spoons, actually. So yeah. That's it. But yeah, no, I see. Have I caught up with the comments, or is it stalled? Yeah, no, I have. Right, okay. So at this point, then, since I've kind of caught up with the comments and things, we can do. I can actually show you the new beers that I got today, because this was actually one of the points of making this little live stream sort of thing. So yeah, no Edda. I was not worried about running out of comments to read. But yeah, no, I actually was. I was wondering when I was going to actually be able to show you the beers that I bought today, because that, as I say, was the point of this live stream. So right, first up, and I think, how many have we got? We've got like 10 or so beers. So yeah, the first up, this is one, I think this came out like a week or so ago. Italo Pils from Stockholm Brewing Company. I love Italian lager beers. The Italians, quite a lot of the breweries there are doing sour beers. So this is one, and I've had, was it Birrificio del Ducato? Who is it that did that Pilsner beer from Italy recently that had a really, really like Tipo Pils? Is it Birrificio Italiano? I forget, but I had the Tipo Pils beer, the Italian Tipo Pils, beautiful, beautiful lager beer. So this is one, I think this is what Stockholm Brewing have done as a kind of tribute to it. So I'm really curious to see how this one turns out. Incidentally, for the moment, I'm drinking this one from I just reviewed this before I came on and did the live stream, the Northern Exposure Kvike IPA 6%er. So I'm sipping away on that as we do this. But yeah, so next one then, we have the fantastic Haze Imperial IPA from Sierra Nevada. Excited for Imperial IPA from Sierra Nevada. Excited for this one. I love Sierra Nevada. So this one is this is one that I'm really curious about. I need to drink this soon, because the American beers, like I say, we don't always get them in the freshest. So I'm hoping that this one will still be in pretty good condition. That was one of the things that always used to piss me off, was that the American beers that we got, it was fine if it's an Imperial Stout or a Porter or something, but it used to piss me off that with some of these beers that we get were in shitty condition. But yeah. So yeah, this is one that I'm really curious about as well. This is one of my local breweries. So yeah, this is one that I'm really curious about as well. This is one of my local breweries from Malmö, the Finn Pilsner. So this one is the yeah, it's a lager beer, 4.8%. And the main reason I got this was I tried the Skånsk lager, and it was beautiful. And I'm like, these guys have really got a knack for the style. So this is one that I'm really, really going to enjoy. The Hylia Brewery Finn Pilsner. If for those of you that are watching from Sweden, then you know, this is a brewery that you definitely want to check out. Order their beers. Try the Höglipan, proper old school, almost homebrewed type West Coast style IPA. And then we have the Omnipollo Flashback. So this one is described as a blueberry maple pancake imperial porter, 9% ABV. This is one of the ones that was released today. This one was also released today on the 26th of May. So this is another one, an Omnipollo one. So yeah, curious to see what that's like. I almost didn't get this one, but then I just kind of thought, you know what, bugger it, why not? Yes, then we have a few more. So we have this one, and this is one I'm really curious about. This one is from Spain. So this beer, is this Napa beer? Is it Napa? I forget which one of the Spanish breweries this is. Oh damn, where is the? No, it's not. It's not Napa beer. Which brewery is this again? Oh, having a complete brain. It's Garage Beer. That's it. It's right there. Right. Garage Beer. So this is a collaboration they did with Collective Arts from Hamilton in Ontario over in Canada. Whale Mist. So this is like an imperial bar. They're saying it's an imperial Barcelona Weiss with an imperial Barcelona Weiss brewed with blackberries, blueberries, and blackcurrants. I'm really curious about this. I love berry Berliner Weisses, so I think this is going to be pretty damn good. Yes, we've got another one from Stigbjergets. This one, what's this called? This is the Cinnaman / Cinnamon Imperial Stout. Kanel. Swedish love their cinnamon. Yeah, this was actually really cheap for what it was. This one was like 40 crowns. So it was like nothing. So a 12% Imperial Stout for 40 crowns from Stigbjergets. Can't really go wrong there. Yes, and we have, yes, the Lervig Verdant collaboration. This one's a big half-litre monster as well. So this one is a gluten-free double dry hopped IPA. So this is Lervig from Stavanger in Norway in collaboration with Verdant, who are from Falmouth in Cornwall in England. And it's called It's Not Me, It's You, gluten-free IPA. So yeah, curious to see what this one has in store for us. And then this one's also meant to be pretty good as well. This one, I'm really hoping this is not a letdown, this, because I've been disappointed with the West Coast IPAs I've had recently. But this one is North Brewing Company and Bierbibliothek. And this one is just a collaboration West Coast double IPA, 8.5%. I hope this has enough IBUs. So many of these West Coast IPAs recently, they're just boozy and biscuity. They don't have the big kind of sweet, oily caramel that you want. They don't have enough IBUs. But it says here that the hops are Chinook, Mosaic, and Citra. But it also says it's got dextrose in it. And dextrose, if I remember rightly, smoothens out the flavour, the mouthfeel of the beer. So I'm not sure what to make of this one. I really hope this is at least 80 IBUs and it's sweet and caramelly. I'm hoping, seriously hoping, please do not be a letdown. So yeah, and then we have the last beer, which I think will be really interesting. And this was the reason why I went to Malmo today. And there was only about 5 or 6 of these left, actually. So I was quite lucky to get this. There wasn't too many actually brought into Sweden. This is Pivovar Schenk from Bratislava in the Czech Republic. This is only the second Slovakian craft beer that I've ever reviewed for you, and it's a sour beer. I'm not sure exactly what type of sour beer it is, but you know, it's a Slovakian beer. This one was a bit more expensive. This was like 150 Swedish crowns, so that is £12 roughly, so 14, 15 euros, something like that. But you know, it's a Slovakian beer. I was just kind of like, you know, bugger it, get one, why not? So yeah, guys, those are the new beers that you'll see on the channel over the next little while. So in total, that was 9. Yeah, 9 new beers that I got today, so not bad. But yeah, let's have a little look at the comments then. Let me go back to where Edda's Smart Arse comment was. Yep, so there he is. Smart Arse comment was. Yep, so there he is. Were you worried about running out of comments through? There we go. So yeah, which US state makes the best beer? I don't know. I actually don't know. The ones that we got first, it was always California or Colorado beers that we got first. But in recent times, we've been getting a lot of things from the different states in New England. Actually, I know that North Carolina is meant to be, the Appalachia area is meant to be very good for beer these days. But yeah, it was always California and Colorado that we got things from, and Oregon at one stage as well. We don't get so many Oregon beers. I find actually that when I go to Japan, there's a lot of West Coast stuff out there that I don't normally see. So I always try to do some West Coast beers, both Oregon, Washington, and what do you call it, California when I go out there. So that's a difficult question actually. Which US state makes the best beer? I don't know which is the nicest star in the sky. So Alicia, Julian apple cider is great from Julian, California. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. Do you find the Swedish or the Finnish language sexier? Oh, I don't know. They sound very, very different. I think the Finnish language is it sounds a little bit darker almost. It's a bit more kind of I think that it's not throaty, but just a bit deeper. Finnish language sounds a bit deeper, whereas the Swedish language is a bit more kind of sing-songy, actually. And then we've got, I think that it's not throaty, but just a bit deeper. Finnish language sounds a bit deeper, whereas the Swedish language is a bit more kind of sing-songy, actually. And then we've got greetings from Poland. Oh man, I love Polish people. Polish people are fucking crazy in the best way. Polish people just go nuts. I love it. Poland is. I need to do more Polish beers on the channel. I was there 2017, so I need to get more Polish beers on the channel. I don't think I've reviewed a Polish beer since then because again, the beers just don't make it outside. But I remember in Poland, craft beer was stupidly cheap. There's a great shop in Warsaw called Piwo Maniac. And I remember the guy who ran that, Pavel, and I went in and bought like 30 beers from him, and he was so happy. But it only cost me I remember that it only cost me like £40 or something like that. I was like, this is just stupid cheap. The Polish beers were really great quality and really cheap. And we've got a guy. Nope. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm loving your channel so far, and you seem like a cool person. Greetings from Portland and Oregon. Still not a huge beer drinker, but channels like yours help a ton. Dude, you're in one of the best beer places in the world. If you're in Portland and Oregon, man, you seriously need to get into it. You've got I'm almost jealous of you because of where you live, dude. Go and try those things. Go and try those breweries, man. Honestly, Karts. Oh yeah, Karts has been watching the channel for a while. Finland. So I've heard good things about the Italo Pills. Interested to hear your take on it. Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. Actually, definitely excited for that. Marlon is saying to Sam, I'm thinking about moving to Poland the beginning of the next year. If you go to Poland, you've got ridiculously good beer waiting for you. Do you have a beer tap machine at home? No, I don't. As I say, I don't really drink outside of the reviews. Outside of my reviews, I don't drink beer. I don't. When I go out, I actually always drink, Diet Coke when I go out, unless there's like a really, really special random beer on, or it's a very special occasion. I might have a whiskey. Yeah. No, so yeah, I don't actually drink alcohol very much when I go out. To be honest with you, unless it's a beer festival, unless I'm actually filming for the channel, I try to stay off it because it becomes too much after a while. Yeah, am I brewing myself? I've done a little bit of home brewing with my landlord. I mentioned that earlier on. Oh, I've lost the. Where did it go? Are you brewing yourself? Italo Pills looks like an oil can from the 80s. That's definitely a fair comment. Yeah, Marley and Kamabi are having their own chat about Poland. Does love the style. That would be my financial ruin. How do you stay so fit after drinking all those beers? As I say, I don't drink outside of the reviews. I do some weightlifting. I walk around a lot and things. I keep an eye on my diet as well, actually. Yeah, that's what you do. What type of beer do you prefer when you can choose yourself? Seeing So seeing so many different styles in your reviews and Untappd list. What's my favourite style of beer? That's difficult, actually. It's a very difficult question. I do love a German lager, and the Scotch ales are. Uh, Scotch ales are a bit of a favourite as well. I wouldn't say I've got one particularly favourite style. It's more that I like a lot of things and I get in the mood for different stuff. Um, yeah, but a big orange, well, maybe a big orangey West Coast IPA. That's probably one of my favourites actually. Edda's complaining it's not a shiny can. One of my favourite breweries is Jan Olbracht. I'm sure I reviewed one of those actually. I'm sure I recognise the name of that brewery. Search that in the channel, or just put Poland in the search bar and you'll find it. I'm sure I've reviewed something from that brewery. I'm at Stigbergets right now. Oh, Stockholm or Gothenburg. The Stockholm bar, I'm guessing. Marlin, Polish craft beer is like 12 zloty, which is about 2 point. Yeah, it's sweet. The Polish craft beer is nothing. Terry's quick beer reviews is saying hello. Yeah, awesome. Nice to see you, Terry. Big Ram Toner N, whatever that is. Would you do an episode of trying the cheapest beers you can find? Tesco Smart Price beer. Suppose could do. Every US state has its unique beer. Yep, it does. North Carolina beers are great. The breweries in South Charlotte are doing great work. Yeah, I'm not surprised with that. Not surprised at that at all. Asking which state makes the best beer in the US is actually like how much more wet is the water in one lake compared to our area. Lee's got it right there. Lee, go and check out Lee's channel, one of the Canadian beer tubers, guys. If you're interested in beer tubing, you can check out him as well. So Xanthian just moved from North Carolina to Stockholm. Any recommendations for local beers that would remind me of home? I've not actually tried so many North Carolina beers, so I don't know what things there. But Stigbergets have got a bar. Gothenburg is the main beer city in Sweden, so go and the Stigbergets have got a bar there. Omnipoyo have got stuff opening up. You can go and check out Omnipoyo's hat as well. That's an awesome little bar. They've got great pizza there and some of the New England IPAs and stuff like that. So yeah, go and check it. Just check out Rate Beer. There's loads of stuff there. I'm not as familiar with Stockholm, but there's a really, there's Pang Pang. There is Nordic Kiwi Brewers do some really nice stuff as well. Who else is kind of based around Stockholm? You've got the guys. You've got a few breweries in Uppsala as well. You've got Tempo. You've got Brass Tacks. Who else? There's quite a few breweries up there. So just go on Untappd and have a little look around and see what's there. Yeah. Hope that helps you to some degree. But yeah, Xarni, I'm from Poznan and we have lots. Why does it keep going to the bottom? I'm not finished reading. I'm from Poznan and we have lots of craft beer shops. I've heard Poznan's a good beer city, actually. I need to get to Poland and do a bit of travelling around. Speaking of Polish beers, I gave a beer by Brewers Stu Moscow and Galway Bay. Lab called Tiki Sour IPA. It's a punk guava Kalmasi. That would be interesting. I need to review Stu Movar. I've heard good things about them. Average beer price for 500ml can in Halifax, California is about 35. SEK in a store, 55 at a bar. It's interesting. Is that meant to be Halifax, Canada or Halifax, California? I'm not sure. So I know Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm definitely making an effort to learn more and experience the beer scene more as I'm spoiled. I'm sure you probably have easy access to Oregon beers, but if not, that would be cool to be a mule. Actually, I actually don't get so many Oregon things. So yeah, if you're interested in that, drop me a message through the channel Facebook. That would be awesome. What are your thoughts on 2018's most hyped worst ingredient? Coconut. I've had a few coconut imperial porters and things. I think it's all right. It's like Bounty. It's like that chocolate bar. It's that one that you're just like, oh, it's all right. It's not. You're kind of indifferent to it, to be honest. I think that's it when it comes to coconut. Just indifference. If you're living in the area, craft beer scene is huge. Where were you from again, Snowbank? I've lost track of these. Oh, in Halifax, Canada. Yeah, no, I would like to go to Nova Scotia. Have you reviewed Povkrola? Oh yeah, the Albrecht Brewery. Gothenburg Steve Berriot. Have they got a bar there, or are you talking about Bar Kino, Hagabion's Cafe? I didn't know that Stigbergets had a bar, an actual bar in Gothenburg. I thought it was just the Bar Kino, the Hagabion's Cafe that they had. But yeah, I've been there. I filmed a little out and about video there. P.S. If you haven't checked out many Michigan beers, I'd recommend those as well. Yeah, no, I've had a few. I've not had Bells yet. I've had Shorts. I'm sure I had a Shorts beer. Founders, I know. I've had quite a lot of Founders. And by the way, would you like to know how to read my name? You can translate Charney. I've replaced O with V. O with V in my nickname. As only the brain's not working. You've contracted Charney. Replaced O with V. Oh, Quarney. So it's just Quarney. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So hi from Reddit and Darby Burton. Ah, nice. Yeah, cool. More from the Reddit gang. Have you tried Blue Moon or Angry Orchard? There is a Blue Moon review on the channel. It's one of the first 50 or something like that, or first 100. Yeah, I've had Blue Moon a long time ago. I've not tried Angry Orchard. If you like mead, it's getting bigger and bigger here in Poland, and now there are craft meads. Yeah, there's more and more. There's more and more craft meads coming up here in Sweden as well. Actually, mead Malmö. There's Malmö meadery very close to me. Yeah, and I've not tried many meads. The first mead review I think I actually did, if it's technically a mead, was that Wheat Braggot from what do you call it? From brain's not working. From Närke Kulta Brewery in Örebro. So yeah, Canada. Yep. No, sorry. Yeah, Halifax, Canada. Just when you put CA, I think California. So if it was NS, I would recognise. Yeah, Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'll definitely drop you a line. And yeah, do definitely. That'd be cool to try some different things. Thoughts on Romanian beer? Never had it. Never actually reviewed a Romanian beer. I don't think I've ever tasted a Romanian beer. But like I say, I would always be willing to try stuff. I've heard that there's a few Romanian breweries that are supposed to be quite good. I'd love to go to Romania. I've heard that it's actually very, very nice. The Romanian people that I've met have always been very nice as well. So yeah, Kino, yeah, Bar Kino, the Hagabion's Cafe. Yeah, they own that whole cinema. It's there. I've been there. Have you had Brains Dark from Cardiff? No, I've never had Brains. Greetings from Bamberg. That is where my German friend Daniel lives. You've seen him in the beer video introducing a German to some classic Scottish beer. Yep. Yeah, so he's from there. Brewers is connected to All In Brewing. Spike has their tap room. Dugas is opening up a restaurant and tap room as well. Yeah, no, I've been to the Brewers Beer Bar on Tredjelånggatan. That's the original one. I think there's one on Victoria Gatan or something. There is a second one, but yeah, Tredjelånggatan is the original, and I think it's All In. It's All In Dugas, and I know that Electric Nurse. It's Mikael Enstrom's daughter Ida and her husband who are behind that brewery. I don't know if they own a share in the bar or if it's just that connection that means there's lots of their beers there. But yeah, I know that. Yeah, just the Nyan Hellcat. Yeah, no, it's the same. That unfortunately is the thing, Nyan. It's just Romanian beer. You know, it's the same. I saw someone on the Reddit thread was saying, "Oh, you haven't done any Hungarian beer." You just don't get it. You just actually don't find Hungarian beer in Sweden. I don't think they've ever had a Hungarian craft beer in Systembolaget. Some of the Swedes that have obviously been following it longer might know if that's right or wrong, but I've never, even in Copenhagen where there's the free alcohol market, I've never actually seen a Hungarian craft beer. I've never seen a Romanian craft beer before. So yeah. What's your all-time worst beer? Oh, it has to be Miller or Oedo Kamido Red, which I reviewed with the guys from Sotogami Akiha Bira. The Oedo Kamido Red. That was awful. You can look up that review with Casey and Eric. Collaboration review, that one was called. Magazines Gatan is the other brewers. Right. Okay. From Dunphy. Oh, I'm a Pars fan. I like the Pars. What is your current top Imperial Stout? Oof. The glazed and confused that I had from Amundsen was very nice, but one of the honestly, one of the best imperial stouts I remember having was actually from Dead End Brew Machine. It was called the Night Land. It had that had something stupid like 12 different malts in it. But yeah, Dead End Brew Machine is Dead End Brew Machine, the Night Land. That's one of the best imperial stouts that I've had. I'm sure the owner of that company is Irish, actually. Yeah. So yeah, so Miller, yeah, Ed and I didn't like Miller. I remember that. What's your all-time most beer? The one that I've just been kind of indifferent to. Can't remember. You know, if it was just kind of meh, that's the reason I don't remember it. It's like, you know, it's all right. It's kind of meh. Try to think if there's a beer I didn't see the hype, didn't see the reason for the hype about. Doesn't spring to mind, but you know, that's the kind of reason for that as well. I honestly can't remember. Sorry, Nine, I can't really answer that question. So Arak, greetings from Brazil. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, Brazil. I've heard you guys have got a lot of fruit beers and sour beers and things. There's a brewery in Finland in a place called Tusula that I've been reviewing recently called Coolhead, and they've got it's a Brazilian brewer there, and he's taken like Brazilian craft brewing to Finland and doing some really interesting stuff. I had a lemon licorice sour from them, which was beautiful. You'll see that review quite soon, actually. So yeah, thoughts on whiskey? I do like a whiskey. I don't, as I say, I don't drink whiskey that often. I would review more whiskies, but to be honest, I'd be relying on people to, you know, lend me their whiskey bottles. A good friend of mine has a big whiskey collection, and I suggested to him, you know, I can bring over a few Swedish whiskies for you if you let me stay in your house for a day or something when you're at work. I can review a couple of whiskies and things. But you know, whiskey reviewing it's a very, very expensive hobby, and like I say, it'd be such a waste for me to buy a full bottle of whiskey because I would never drink it. I would never drink the whole thing. I mean, I've got a bottle of Spirit of Ven that I bought with my first wage that I got as a teacher here in Sweden. I've had that like 2 years. I've had that. Well, I've had that. No, 3 years now actually. So you know, I've had that. I've had that a long time, and who knows when I'll finish that. I've got other bottles of whiskey that I've never drank. I've never touched actually. So yeah, I do like a whiskey, but really do. I very rarely drink it actually. Ed is asking, have you reviewed any non-alcoholic beer yet? I haven't actually. I haven't actually. And how different is the process as well, if you know? Well, to make non-alcoholic beer, you basically have to boil the alcohol out of it, to be honest. That's all you can do. The other thing, it's actually better just to make a very, very low alcohol beer than completely non-alcoholic, because the thing is, when you boil the beer, you denature all the sugars and the yeast and all this kind of rubbish. And the non-alcoholic beers they never really quite taste the same because you have to heat treat them. Whereas, like I say, if you you know, if you actually just make a very low ABV beer, like 1% or less, you've got you can use the proper natural process and things like that. So it's far better to do a low alcohol beer than it is to do a completely alcohol free one, I think. Yeah, Nine saying it was expected, yeah, like Romanian beers. Oh no, sorry, I was talking about what is the most all-time beer. So John is asking if salmiakki is anything to go by. The people west of the North Sea probably wouldn't like a Nordic licorice beer. I can see that's an acquired taste, but it's not for me. I never liked licorice before I came to Sweden. It actually really has grown on me over the last while. You know, I've really got into cinnamon, aniseed, and licorice over the last while as well. So yeah, best coffee milk stout. Oh, I don't know about coffee milk stout, but Dugas Brewery here in Sweden have been doing some. They've like the Key and the Systembolaget that I had from them. Those are definitely two of the best imperial stouts that I remember trying. Come to think of it, so yeah, the Key and the Systembolaget are just, you know, beasts. Those are awesome beers. A coffee milk stout. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Can't think of a coffee milk stout, to be honest with you. Yeah, most exotic beer. Most exotic beer. What would that be? From the most random place, there was one. I had one from Barbados, the Banks Caribbean Lager. That's probably one of the really random ones I've had. Dragon Stout from Jamaica. I found a beer from Colombia in Systembolaget as well one time. That was quite funny just to find that. So yeah, those are probably the most exotic beers that I've come across. I did find Tusker Lager from, I think that's Kenya at one stage, but I never made a review of that. I don't know what happened to that bottle of Tusker Lager actually. So yeah, SV122, what's up? Not drinking beer at the moment to avoid getting even fatter, so I'm stuck watching you instead. If that helps you, then fair dues, fair dues. What is the strangest flavour you found in a craft beer? Mm, oh, I don't like chili. I don't like chili in craft beer. I've never taken to chili imperial stouts. I don't know. I've just never ever liked that. I don't like that. One of the worst beers. Actually, this goes back to another question. One of the worst beers I ever had was the Neon Overlord from Brewdog. That beer was fucking awful. The Neon Overlord had awesome artwork, but it just tasted like, oh, it was like licking a Jakey's. It was like licking a junkie's carpet. It burnt like a motherfucker. It was a horrible, horrible beer that I remember. Yeah. What's the strangest? Yeah. So Coke or Pepsi? Pepsi Max. I like a Pepsi Max. A few years ago, I think a Scottish brewery made a beer that was stronger than 30% volume. Apparently, you had to drink it like spirits. That was Brewmeister, but they were found that was false. But Brewdog made one that was 55%. That was the end of history because they had Tactical Nuclear Penguin, which was 32. They had Sink the Bismarck, which was 40 something. And then there was the end of history, which was 55 because they were in competition with Schwarzbräu from Germany. Then they just kind of gave up because Schwarzbräu made one they made the end of history, which was 55. And then Schwarzbräu made their one that was 57. And that was that. So, yeah. So if you like Pepsi, you should try Charne from Fortuna Brewery. That sounds familiar, actually. I guess I'll toss a non-beer question in here. Any exercise or hobby you've been engaging in to deal with the current situation? We are not on lockdown in Sweden, so just been doing things as normal. I like to go out for a walk. I do a bit, I've got my bike. I do a bit of cycling over here and so on. So so yeah, no, it's good. It's good. So yeah, you've been engaging in. So yeah, no, John's saying is atomic nuclear. No, it's tactical nuclear penguin. Definitely tactical nuclear penguin. Don't try Angry Orchard. It's trash. Okay. It tastes pretty much like Pepsi. Okay. Oh, ignore my last comment. Okay, yeah. What's they called theirs the Bismarck? No. Why is the Brewdog called? Why? That's why Brewdog. What's they called theirs the Bismarck number? Yeah, it was Sink the Bismarck. It was called. I don't know why they chose that name. Right enough. But yeah, obviously Bismarck is the biggest. The biggest. I think it's the biggest warship that was ever built. It was the biggest one. It was the Tirpitz class ship in the Second World War. And there was two of them. There was obviously the one that was called Tirpitz, and then there was the Bismarck. And I think the Bismarck was the younger one and the better one. So yeah. At what age will your son get his first beer, and which one? Who knows? Well, probably drink his first beer when he's 16. So yeah, because the company called their beer Bismarck. Oh right, okay, I get you, Ed. Now I get you, Ed. Now I didn't realize that Schwarzbräu had called theirs Bismarck. So they made Bismarck. Right, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Schwarzbräu had called theirs the Bismarck. So yeah. That's interesting, actually. So Sink the Bismarck. Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. No lockdown in Sweden. That's what Gav told me. All right. I don't know. There's a song called Sink the Bismarck. There's a Sabaton song called Bismarck. Very, very good song, Bismarck. Yeah. Yeah. No. Bismarck. The Sink. I tried Tactical Nuclear Penguin. I never tried Sink the Bismarck. I never tried the End of History. I don't know if the Sink the Bismarck was the one that was in like animal skins, like it was in a dead squirrel or something. So they got in trouble with animal rights groups and stuff like that for that, if I remember rightly. Um, so yeah, have you ever tried anything from West Berkshire Brewery in the UK? No, don't remember ever trying anything from those actually. Tried oyster stout. Yeah, I've had one or two oyster stouts. I think I had one from Left Handed Brewing in the States. And I'm sure I had one that was Taka. It was called Taka no Yume from Isekadoya Brewery in Japan, in Miya, Ise Miya. So yeah, no, that was an interesting beer that I've had. I'm sure I had another oyster stout from a brewery in Japan. Who was it? I can't remember. I really can't remember who the oyster stout was from in Japan. Actually, I definitely had one from Isekadoya, and that was interesting. But yeah, if you would like to find the best, when would you like to try some new ones? You might want to check out. I know. Yeah, I know Thomas Copria. I think he's got like 100,000. There's a million subscribers or something. His channel's like stupidly big. So he's got like 1/40th of all of Poland watching him. Yeah, he's like the biggest. Yeah, I know Thomas Copria. Yeah, yeah. He's also. Oh, he's also got his own craft beer. I didn't know that they had that. But yeah, Thomas invited me to a Polish beer festival. Actually, invited me to go to one, and I can't remember when it was. I can't remember why I couldn't go. I think it was because I had exams at uni when it was on. But he invited me to go along with Simon Martin back in like 2015. So I know Simon Martin went to Poland and did the beer festival. There's videos of Simon. And they kind of at that beer festival. Do you like anything from Sierra Nevada? Well, Torpedo and the Original Pale Ale, I like both of those. And you maybe didn't see this one earlier, but yeah, I have this to review from Sierra Nevada, and I liked the Hoppy 40th. The Hoppy 40th was an awesome beer, actually. I like that. So yeah, John's saying, "Got to go. Have a good one." No, it was nice to have you, John. Hope you enjoyed the little live stream. Good old boy has won some awards, and was it around? I honestly can't remember when it was. I thought it was in like April or March or something like that. Yeah, no, I thought it was like April or March or something. I honestly can't remember when. I can't remember when that was actually. I really can't remember actually. I can't even remember. I can't remember when that was actually. I really can't remember actually. I can't even remember what year it was, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, it was kind of interesting. Yeah, no, it would be cool to go to one of the Polish beer festivals actually and see what it's all about. Because, like I say, I was impressed with the standard of the Polish craft beers when I was there. So that was awesome. Yeah, what Portuguese beers do you like? I've not tried so many Portuguese beers. Let me have a wee look at this. I'm trying to remember what the name of the Portuguese beers were. I had 3 recently from the one brewery, but I'm sure I've only ever reviewed a couple. If you want Portuguese beers, you should go and check out Craig at Kent Beer Reviews. What was the name of that brewery again? Cerveja Colossus. Yeah, those are the only 3 Portuguese beers that I've ever reviewed. So Portugal is another country that I've never really touched on anything from. Again, you just don't find these beers in other places. But yeah, I do have my 8th beer review is Sagres Cerveja from Portugal. So yeah, it's one of the older videos. But yeah, no, I've only got 3 Portuguese reviews on the channel, and there's 1272, 1323, and 1422 actually. So yeah, no, so Portuguese beers I don't I don't know actually. Shark Brover Vidava Brover Copyright has 98 IBUs. That sounds like one I would like to try. If that's a West Coaster IPA, big bitter IPA, that sounds like one. Yeah, Post Scripture Scriptium. I mean, Pug Sagres. Yeah. Yeah, it's super. Are you more of a Super Bock fan then? No, I don't know. I've never tried. I used to get. I think people commented on the Sagres video quite a lot, saying, "Oh, try Super Bock, try Super Bock," and I just never. I never found Super Bock. Actually, never seen it. So yeah, no, that's quite. It's quite funny how you get things like that. You do one beer from a country, and everyone's like, "Oh, try this other lager. Make a video for this one," and yeah, no, it's quite funny. It is quite funny. I need to review a few more macro beers actually. Like I need to have a go. I'd quite like to have a go at the Greek macro beers because Mythos. I've not. I don't think I've done Mythos, Alpha. Some of the Greek. There was a my friend Georgios showed me a Greek macro beer that was made. I think the company had a German name because I think the guy who started it was the guy who started it was German, I think, and it was actually a very good quality macro lager, from what I remember. So yeah, but Vasco's saying no, I prefer Sagres to Superbot, but they're both piss. I can see that being the case. I can definitely see that being the case. Yeah, it's quite funny actually. But yeah, no, I need to do. I've actually never been to Portugal. I'd like to go there and see Lisbon and Porto and things like that, and just have a look around. It'd be cool to go and visit Portugal and see what the place is all about. I've heard it's a very very nice country. Mm. But yeah, no, quite a lot of places I'd like to visit in Europe. Slovenia is top of the list. Ukraine, I'd love to go and see. I know there's a few interesting breweries down there. Brova Varvar, if I remember right. I'd like to go and see. I want to go and see the Chernobyl thing. And I actually wanted to go and see it before the whole HBO thing kind of kicked off actually. But yeah, no, I want to go and see Chernobyl now and see what it's all like. That would be really cool. I need to go to Spain. I've never actually been to mainland Spain either. Portugal, not seen much. I've not seen very much of Italy either. But the Balkan countries, Montenegro, I'd love to go there. But yeah, Croatia, Slovenia are high on the list. There's a lot of nice places in Europe that I haven't really seen. I've not. There's a lot of Europe that I've not really managed to see yet. So yeah, but in the summer going to Estonia for my friend Ianar's wedding, and I'm also going to the States for another friend's wedding. So yeah, that's the plan over the next few months, just to kind of see how it all goes together. But yeah, yeah. No, too many plans, but at the moment, as I say, just waiting to for this whole COVID situation to go. Because I actually would have been going out to Japan in about what date was I going? I was actually going to go out to Japan on like the 8th of was it the 8th? Was it the 8th? It was the 9th, I think, of June that I was going to be going out to Japan actually. So yeah, no, that kind of got paid because of this whole shitty virus situation. So we need to just wait and see if I can get an opportunity out there because my little guy has to stay out there for a little bit until my permanent residency comes through in Sweden. Bit of a thing there. So hi from Kentucky, USA. A lot of bourbon barrel aged beers here. I'm not surprised. I know how many bourbon distilleries. I've actually never tried. In fact, no, is that lies? I've tried Jack Daniels, obviously. That's compared to what you can get in bourbon. Obviously, that's not the greatest. I mean, I've not actually being Scottish. You don't really have to. You don't really have to try bourbon. But I'd be interested to try a few American bourbons. Actually, I've never really tried any of that. I can't remember if I've tried any beers from Kentucky. I think very, very few, if any. I discovered your channel, right? I like the way your reviews very in depth. No, thank you, Vasco. No, that's definitely the awesome thing. As I say, the whole Reddit thing is it's just insanity. It really is just absolutely crazy insanity. I don't even know what to say to it, to be honest. But yeah, if the whole coronavirus situation calms down, there might be one of the biggest craft beer expos in Poland in Potsdam around November. If you'd like to try some new Polish beers, could be tempted. I can get to Poland for very very cheap. So yeah, no, that could be a shout to go down to Poland again. I've been wanting to go to Poland for a while actually. I enjoyed I've only been to Poland. I've been to Poland twice. So like when I was at school, we got taken on the Lessons from Auschwitz program. So we went to Krakow and Oswiecim, if I'm pronouncing that right. And we also went. I've also been to Warsaw as well, which was awesome. We went to see Powerwolf. I remember with my friend, and we got food poisoning from an Indian restaurant in. We got food poisoning from an Indian in Warsaw as well, which was just crazy. Mm. An Indian restaurant. So yeah, I missed my flight back and had to buy another one. So yeah, that was just kind of that was actually just craziness. But yeah, no, it'd be cool to go to Poland again. Love to go there. Like I say, Poland, Ukraine, and the other things are. Yes, there's too many. There's too many places. There's too many kind of things to go there. But yeah, what I might do is then I might call quits on this little live stream. This is just going to be a very, very quick one, of course. But yeah, no, on Thursday, having a proper kind of Q&A session. You can, ask whatever you like. But that's kind of what this one seems to have turned into. Anyways, you should try some. I did try pierogi, the dumplings. I did try pierogi. I don't know. I can't remember what shabovi was, but I remember the kielbasa. I did like the Polish sausages. But yeah, no. I'll probably end the live stream just about now. I was only intending to stay on for like an hour or so anyway. But yeah, on Thursday there will be a Q&A session, and then I'm going to bring in some of the other beer tubers there, and you guys can have a meet with some of the other guys then. But yeah, we'll leave we'll leave it there for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just another thing. So yeah, the whole Reddit thing, to all of you who've joined the channel, a big welcome. I hope you continue to enjoy the videos, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. But yeah, this was just a wee mini live stream to show you the new beers that I've got, the 9 that you'll be seeing reviewed over the next little while. But yeah, welcome to the channel, guys. To the old guard, a huge thank you as well for your continued support. And yeah, I'll catch you guys very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys at some point soon. As I say, the live Q&A session and then the hangout with the other beer tubers will start at 8 p.m. GMT plus. Are we on GMT +1 Central European time? So yeah, it will start 8 p.m. Central European time. I'll maybe do like an hour and a half myself doing a Q&A. You can ask whatever the hell you want, and then the other guys will come in a little bit later on. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I hope you continue to enjoy the channel. So we'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Until the next one, Slanja just now, and I'll catch you guys later. Slanja, Skull, take it easy, guys. Cheers.